what made you decide for your tomorrow celebration to focus on
First of all,
joy
I
alone?
wanted this to be a joyful celebration, regardless of where we were at in the
Yeah.
crowdfunding campaigns. I've been writing about this in my Substack. Like I've
Yeah.
done like 5 installments in that series now of like sharing it in real time with folks, like where my brain is at any given moment.
What has that process been like? And I mean, I'm sure that you've done it because it gives you something to talk about to make sure that this campaign stays front and center. But I love that as the concept. And
It's
that's
sort of taken me a while to really embrace the genre, the format of memoir. I started my life, like my adult life, as a journalist. And the thing about being a journalist is that you're 20 or 30 years ago, there was still this like I think false notion that you were always you're taking yourself out of a thing. That you
Mm,
are a neutral
yes, a
observer, which
journalist
I
is
think we're
supposed to do
never
that.
really neutral. I'm actually really good at like sort of telling story in that way and connecting it to something broader, which I think is
So
the
people can resonate.
so
Yeah.
people can resonate with it. And so
Yeah.
I say that
Can
again.
we expect some of that approach in your podcast?
Planning on doing some solo episodes that most of them I'm planning on doing as interviews, but in the first season, like do a solo episode or two reflecting. I have some really good stories about like learning how to rest and that
Yeah.
journey that could definitely be some nice little solo episodes.
I'm curious what joy moments came for you in this process, especially ones that you hadn't anticipated.
I mean, I feel like most of the joy moments were unanticipated, convinced, and I've been telling, like, kind of teaching and telling people this for a very long time that joy is different than happiness. I think happiness can be sort of that glazed over numb kind of thing,
Yeah,
where
I
joy
agree.
is, I fully acknowledge and can feel like the ick of whatever's here,
Yeah,
and I can feel the
absolutely.
joy that's in this. I don't think you can have joy without the other stuff.
So, what are some of your
Happiness
joy
is a little
highlights throughout
numbing.
this
So my
process?
joy
Yeah.
points. I think the thing that has been so joyful and definitely unexpected was how freely support has been given. And that should not shock me. It wasn't even so much about the money, although that was nice to hear about. Like it was really more about like, oh, these people are like, no, what you're doing is important and we want to support it. And that
Yeah.
felt so joyful.
Have you found a lot of support in other ways from
Just the
people?
other day, like our super friends, Kevin and Stephanie, who like stepped up and said, "Hey, why don't we do a Substack live?" That, I mean, that was really joyful. Like that was, I mean, just the conversations I had with all three of you were so fun to have live. Each of you who did those lives with me are different people, like different stuff comes out, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
What has it been like to connect with new people, reconnect with past people, and how has that sort of shaped this process for you?
Well, I have had a lot of very long phone calls with people,
I
I
bet
have to
you
say,
have.
in the background of this. And they mostly don't have anything to do with like the crowdfunding. I've been reconnecting with people that I may or may not have talked to. 5 or 10 minutes of them involved talking about the crowdfunding, you know? And in most of those cases, they've said, how do I support that? Like,
Such a good reminder that we often are the reason that other people can't support us because we don't talk about the ways that we need support openly, and so people can't offer it. And it's not asking with expectation, it's just sharing. Like this is the thing that I'm doing. And I love that this has been a catalyst for you to get sort of out of your comfort zone and try all of these new things and then be able to see like what joy moments you can get from that. Yeah, is there anything else that you want to share with everybody?
I'll just say again, emphasize again that the connections, like both new and reconnections I've made, or deepening of relationships, like us working on this together, like and collaborating in new ways, has been so incredible. And I think some of the joy too, I would just add, like in terms of those connections and those opportunities, is like I think finding my voice in a different way in this space. Like, even the idea of podcasting, and I think it's coming to fruition, really felt like a merger of so many things about myself that get to all
Mm,
live in one space, which is really, really cool to me. So that's
yeah,
why I'm excited about the
I
podcast.
love that.
That's why I'm joyful. So, and the more I talk about the podcast, the more excited I get about it. And the more like determined I am, again, regardless of the crowdfunding results, I'm gonna do this damn thing. I don't